Hey everyone, welcome to my studio. Today I want to talk about how to overcome art block. And I'm going to place the intro. And now we're back. Okay, the first thing that I thought about, like, how do I get over art block? Usually, I talk to a good friend of mine. Her name is Michal, and she is she's really helpful. She knows how my brain works. A lot of times, I want to show something very specific, but it's like I got the image, but I got the colors wrong, or I got the something in the elements a bit wrong. Something just doesn't really tick. So a lot of times what I do is I show a friend of mine who has a very good eye in art. They don't have to be a painter or an artist. They can be a musician, they can be an accountant. It really doesn't matter, as long as that person, you can trust their input. And a lot of times to bounce off ideas from that person really helps, because they can have a different opinion, they can have a different aspect of like what is better for them specifically. And a lot of times that I notice that people who don't understand anything in art, a lot of times see the simple things. And because of that, I don't get into this mess of what is the message, what is the art, is the proportion correct, blah blah blah. I just see the art how the viewer sees it, and because of that it really makes my life easier, because then I can simplify the thought and to really get into what I want the other person to feel when they see the art itself. The second thing that I really highly recommend is, again, if we are social people. We need people in our life. We need friends, we need family, we need people. We are social beings. But the problem is, a lot of people post their art on Facebook or Instagram, and they think that people will say, hey, you need to fix this or this. But usually all the comments are very technical, like this should be purple, this should be left. Her left thigh is a bit thicker than a right thigh, which is nice, but it's not enough to make your art into something that is better. Because a lot of times you get to a certain point in the art itself, and then you're like, I don't know what to do here. So what I can recommend you is, instead of actually being online and trying to talk with a million people, maybe browse through those comments and talk to one person that you see that they have actually the energy and the vocabulary to explain to you what they see, what you are missing. Or I met a lot of artists, really great people online, on Facebook and on DeviantArt, and a lot of times they really help me, because I know that I'm a good painter, but a lot of times you just need that bit of someone else's aspect of what is right for you or right for the art itself, because that's life. The next thing that I can recommend, if you can get rid of art block, is really let your mind go blank. A lot of times what I do is, even like if I finish a sketch or a painting or something just doesn't feel exactly right, I just let my mind empty. And I try not to think about anything, something like meditation or something like that. But I just try not to think about anything. I let my emotions rise, like, what do I want the viewer to feel? What do I want to feel about the art, about the painting, blah, 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 blah. And then, a lot of times, the visual comes up naturally, because when you don't force it, it will come. And it's like when I did Welcome to Rutledge, And I had the idea when Alice in the middle with a lot of characters on the sides, and everything is like dark and gothic and blah blah blah. And but I had in my mind this really white bed with a very white Alice and a very white outfits, and everything is like very white, but very contrast and dramatic and dark. But when I painted that, I was like, I don't know, something is totally missing. And then I put those tentacles in because I wanted that, like the feel when there is something about to grab her that is not of the London world, actually from Wonderland. So something that's like creeping up. But then when I saw the tentacles, it kind of looks stupid. Like, why are there, like, where is that octopus? What? So what I did is I let my mind go blank, and then I understood that actually the blanket should be blue, like a dark blue, and why? Because I don't know, it just worked better. It just looked nicer. Although I'm sure that Cobla blue wasn't like a very popular color in asylum hospitals all over Britain, and it was actually a very expensive color, but it kind of makes sense because her dress is blue and her look is very blue, so that specific color matches the character, matches the color schemes, and it works because it's classic. It fills up. And also if you'll notice that in the lighter version, the fabric is actually competing with Alice's head, so you don't actually see like the whole thing, you just see a white space and a white space. So once I darkened the bottom, you can actually look at Alice without looking at the actual bottom parts, which is another thing that helped with the composition. Now, I know that there are a lot of people who are actually not inventors. They actually like to copy images and copy pictures, and it's fine. I mean, there are a lot of different type of artists. I know that I use a lot of times in everything my models, and I call up a model and tell her, hi, you're fat, come over, I need you to model for me. She's like, oh, you're so funny. And then I take pictures, like all the poses, and then I paint the clothes on the model, and I do stuff. But I know my pose already, but I use a lot of models. So what I can recommend you is or to start to work with other people, or start photographing, or if you want to copy images, it's totally fine. Just make sure that you are not stepping on anyone's copyright, because it's so annoying to see when other people are taking other people's art and then just copying it. And it's not fair, and it's like, I have no problem with people copying my work, but ask me. It's nice to be asked. Although, like with Alice and stuff, it's not that a big deal, because it's more merchandise, it's more commercial. The whole point of Alice is to celebrate that world. So overall, what I really can recommend, let your mind go blank. Talk to a good friend that you can trust, and talk to people online from the community, but one-on-one, not like in a huge chat with commenting. Just be a person. Like, oh, he was very nice. Ask, can I DM you? Can I talk to you? Blah, blah, blah. That's 3. And of course, the last thing is work with images, work with photography, and it will help you improve. Maybe it can give you a sense. I have a big folder with outfits and models and a lot of stuff, but I don't keep like a lot of things. People tend to like go overboard with gigabytes. I just save whatever I think that is really relevant. What is not, I delete, and what I use, I delete. So make sure to actually go and look at that folder. A lot of people don't do that. So make sure to do that. Anyway, I want to do more of these videos, and I would really like you to give me some feedback. Like, do you like to see my messy studio behind me? Do you like it? If you think that you have any input for me, like audio, video, I keep looking at the screen. I think next time I will fold it because I keep looking over there. Besides that, just give me feedback about like what would you like to see next. If you like to even see me talk about stuff, if you have an idea, really just tell me what you think, because I think that specifically art block is one of the meanest thing an artist can get, and I think it's an important thing to really discuss and really think, and I hope that you actually agree with me. You're probably here because you already know my work, and if you don't know my work, you can go into my site OmriKoresh.com. You can see my work, my Alice work, my regular work, my paintings, blah, 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 blah. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you haven't, please do, and if you don't want to, tell me why. I would really like the help. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.